Social Engineering, Unit 1. So, Introduction to Social Engineering. Let us see an overview of social engineering. So, what is social engineering? It is a discipline in social science that focuses on influencing attitudes and behaviors on a large scale. It involves efforts by governments, media, or private groups to shape desired characteristics in a target population. It can be understood philosophically as a deterministic phenomenon where the goals of architects are realized in the new social construct. What is the definition of social engineering? The use of centralized planning to manage social change and regulate future development and behavior of a society. So, social engineering and social change. Social engineering triggers planned social change and development. Governments can shape and manage key aspects of society similar to economic management, and it requires adequate information from social indicators and social trends. Example of government influence is women's employment is often determined by government policies that either promote or impede women's participation in paid work. What are the forms of social engineering? There are two forms of social engineering. One is large scale, which involves societal wide efforts to influence entire structures, and small scale, which focuses on smaller communities or groups. The ethical debate surrounding social engineering is that ethical concerns arise around using scientific expertise to design social policies. As the question is, to what extent is it legitimate for science to serve as the basis for social policy and action, or rational design in society? Here we need to ask this: can humans use science and technology to rationally design and successfully implement an enduring society? What are the different concepts of scientific knowledge that provide various answers supporting large versus small scale efforts? Large scale social engineering is called utopian social engineering. What is it? We will see now. It is modern phenomenon. Large scale efforts to improve human conditions are a very recent development, and the key elements are technical knowledge, political power, and economic resources. So, high modernism, which was introduced by James Scott in the year 1998. What does it mean? It represents an authoritarian quest for control over human and non human nature, a belief that a carefully crafted social order surpasses natural or spontaneous societal development. And here, science is a tool for social progress and improvement of humanity. So, what are the convergence of factors in large scale engineering? The first one is rise of social sciences, state bureaucracy, and mass media support the drive for large scale social engineering. Examples include 5-year collectivist plans, colonial development schemes, and revolutionary agricultural programs. Often these were controlled by a single planning entity. So, what is an example of urban planning? Okay, Corbusier, a Swiss architect known for applying geometric symmetry in urban design. His designs enforced universal scientific truth, shaping human activity based on the city's design. So, this approach is applied to entire cities as we see these days, or it can also be applied to individual homes. So, what is authoritarian design approach? As per Le Corbusier's design approach, prioritize simplicity and order, separating spaces for living, working, shopping, and recreation. Designs were based on scientific principles imposed in authoritarian manner. High modernism used detached scientific concepts to define the good of the people, especially the working poor. So we will see what is small scale social engineering. It uses the approach called piecemeal. Uh, Plato and Marxist envisioned radical societal change, but Karl Popper contrasted this with piecemeal social engineering. So what's Popper's concept? It focuses on gradual democratic reforms rather than large scale utopian change. We'll see the key principles of this piecemeal social engineering. It addresses urgent societal evils, okay, rather than pursuing societal good. And then there are gradual adjustments, not requiring redesigning the entire society. Also, it emphasizes step by step improvement, that is, learning from mistakes step by step, which leads to step by step improvements. So, what is Popper's critique of large scale or utopian social engineering? Utopian social engineering can lead to increased human sufferings and delays action by waiting for ideal conditions. And historically, utopian methods often resulted in violence and failure. So, what are the characteristics of piecemeal engineer? Aware of limitations, knows like Socrates how little he knows, focuses on results achieved versus expected, and avoids complex reforms, seeks continuous improvement by identifying the mistakes, that is, step by step, and opposes large scale reforms that make it difficult to disentangle cause and effect. The cause and effect should be disentangled from each other. So, Popper's view on mistakes is Popper thinks or he says that mistakes are unavoidable in social reform and more radical innovations produce more mistakes. Okay, so gradual piecemeal reforms provide manageable way to improve the society. So, spontaneous versus consciously controlled change. Popper's evolutionary epistemology, it states that social advances are slow, piecemeal, and guided by no overarching plan. So, Frederick Hewitt's view suggests that significant social phenomena emerge spontaneously from unintended effects of social action, which means societal institutions evolve through a survival of the fittest process, rejects centralized planning due to distributed nature of knowledge. Haeckel and Popper's similarities are that they both support gradual monitored social change. Popper's negative utilitarian reform should be judged by how little suffering, that is to minimize the suffering, and government should address social ills like poverty and unemployment, leaving happiness to individual